The short answer would be my professors in university. I grew up as a boy in Texas, and like many boys in Texas, I thought I'd be a professional baseball player when I grew up. Around the time of high school, I mostly realized that that wasn't going to be the case, but still that's what occupied my time, my interests, sports and girls, but mostly sports. By the time I went to university, I wasn't playing sports as frequently as I used to, and I also began to take my studies a lot more seriously. And it was also the first time that I began studying theology as an academic discipline. And I was really just infected by my professors with this profound interest in these questions that were fascinating me in ways that questions never had before. Ideas became like a drug almost, where my mind was just blown by these amazing discussions that we would have in class. And just the ability of these great professors to focus on key issues, to sharply pose questions that challenged our minds. It was just an amazing experience. And I remember my first year began asking the question, which had become much more serious than it had ever before: what am I going to do when I grow up? And it became really clear that I wanted to do nothing else than do for other students what my professors had done for me, which was to expose them to these fascinating theological questions and ideas, and to be that type of professor for others. I think what's really special about theology is the way in which it combines so many features of the humanities curriculum and requires so much of a student. So for instance, in systematic theology, you have to have sort of the analytical rigor of a philosophy degree. And then when it comes to just studying the Bible, being a good reader of the biblical text, you have to have the sort of literary finesse and sophistication of an English reader studying novels. And then if you really want to acquire expertise in the biblical text, you have to sort of cultivate those philological skills of Greek and Hebrew and Latin, much like you would in classics. And then, of course, whether you're studying the biblical text or any aspect of the development of the Christian tradition, you have to have sort of the curiosity for detail like any good historian would. And so I think that's what's really special about theology, is it combines so many key aspects of all these other disciplines in the humanities and puts them all in a single curriculum. So whether it be the nitty-gritty of Greek, parsing Hebrew verbs, or massive questions like who are we, is there a God, how do we know? These are all combined in theology in, I think, a really special way. Well, the differences between the two systems are, of course, massive. But one of the things that I've enjoyed most about working in this system has been the students. The students are just, they come in, I think, with a sort of a polish that a lot of American students don't have. They're eager, they're respectful, they work tremendously hard, and they're just a real joy to work with. They're respectful. And I've just been blown away with the quality of the students here in Durham. They're the best I've ever been around. That wasn't very good, but.